Hey, thanks for tuning in. And I sure hope that these little devotionals help you and encourage you in your journey. As I was reflecting on, just what seems to be the unending chaos of our world, and um, it just seems that fear has such a powerful force in our lives. And I wanted to talk to you this morning just for a few minutes and make sure that you are not letting fear control you, because in Christ Jesus we are to be fearless, to be responsive, to simply walk in intimate relationship with Him. But we know that fear is a real emotion and it's out there. So Psalm 56. Let me read a few verses for you. I think they're going to encourage you. Be gracious to me, O God, for man tramples on me all day long, and an attacker oppresses me. My enemies trample on me all day long, for many attack me proudly. When I am afraid, I put my trust in you, in God, whose word I praise. In God I trust. I shall not be afraid. What can flesh do to me? Now, I am so grateful that we have a gracious God who loves us, and His grace is unending. And you see that the psalmist lived a life, and there was so much turmoil, and he had real enemies and oppressors. And you look at David's life, and you see how even his king and his friend Saul was trying to destroy him. He felt like life was trampling all over him. But in verse 3, he says, "When I am afraid, I put my trust in you." You see, friends, it's not that we're going to live a life without fear. He said, but when we're afraid, what do we do? Where do we go with it? And he says, I put my trust in you. And that really is the sum of the Christian life, that we entrust ourselves to the gracious, loving hand of God. So when you're afraid and you catch yourself afraid, circumstances, life, the future, this is what I want to encourage you. Remember, God is loving and gracious to you, so you can entrust yourself to Him. I put my trust in you. Listen, that's where our trust should be, not in us, but in Him. In God, whose word I praise, in God I trust. I shall not be afraid. What can flesh do to me? So many people find themselves captivated by fear. What could happen? Who could hurt me? And the psalmist got the clue. He said, what could flesh do to me? I've put my trust in Him. In the New Covenant, we see phrases like perfect love cast out fear. So when the emotion of fear hits you, I encourage you, put your trust in Him, because He has a perfect love for you. And He's gracious always. No more living in fear, but living in perfect love. Hey, I love you, and I hope this encourages you, and I hope you'll pass it on. No more fear, just perfect love. God bless.